Hey, what's up? It's Cletus Coffey, and I'm going to answer a question a viewer had about a video I did on how frequency can help grow your business. And shout out to Wes Bali for question. Basically, what he wanted me to do is to expand upon this. So I hope this is helpful for anyone who's watching this. And I'm going to cover it in a couple of specific areas. So we have an energy that we, an energy, and you can sense kind of an energy field by someone, just maybe by their body or by their mood or how they're carrying it. You just, as you're kind of walking up, maybe you're walking and someone's walking in towards you on the sidewalk, and you kind of sense an energy coming. Well, they're giving off a frequency. And what we want to, the first area I'm going to talk about is authenticity and being yourself. When you show up as you, authentically as you give off a frequency that is in alignment with your energy and the power that you have. And I alluded to what I call personal culture. And so you're giving off this frequency, and you can think about, rising in frequency or in consciousness and or going below. And so what people do is oftentimes what the level in which they're vibrating at may be lower. And I remember when I was vibrating at a lower frequency, I was desperate, I was broke, I was emotionally, financially broken. And so I was vibrating at this level of I need money now. I don't care where it comes from. I was desperate. And believe it or not, in the span of it was probably, I believe it was about 5 years where I engaged with and or partnered with 3 convicted felons. I want no part of blue collar and crime in general. Wanted no part of people doing things that were harming people, but I just was vibrating at a low frequency, this level of it doesn't really matter. Like I wasn't I wasn't in my body. I was out of my body, just trying to figure out what I could potentially do to put two nickels together and try to save my sanity and my marriage and my family and all that. So I was vibrating at low, and I was attracting low frequency people. See, low frequency people may or may not be bad people, but oftentimes they're doing things that are forceful. They're forcing things because they're not embodied in themselves. Their energy is low. They're trying to get over people. They're trying to just, make money. It's called a win at all costs, right? They're winning at all costs. It doesn't matter who I harm along the way, but I'm going to win. They're sometimes out of alignment with themselves, out of integrity. They're, you know them. They're kind of sleazy salespeople type. They're just not conscious. They're vibrating at a low frequency, doing things that are maybe maybe out of your morals. And just oftentimes you see some really gifted human beings, really gifted with as far as promoting themselves, marketing themselves, selling themselves, communicating, orators, people that are on stage that they think they're gurus or communicate they're gurus, but their frequency is low. And thus it'll eventually come to light at some point, because they're doing things that are harming others or very self-centered, narcissistic at times. So vibrating at that low frequency that's an example, versus rising above and elevating from a higher frequency. Obviously, integrity, good morals, coming from a place of gratitude and collaboration, win-win. And like I said in the very beginning, being your authentic self. That is just a huge part of being authentically you, obviously in alignment with your consciousness is elevated consciousness. I'm not vibrating at a low frequency where I'm using things to numb myself or to give me a high, alcohol, drugs, sex, addictions, porn addictions, those things that give me those feelings of like, oh, I'm energized, I'm conscious, I've got a higher, well, those are temporary, those are not sustainable. They are lower frequency vibrating. So it's vibrating at a higher frequency so that you can track the people, the opportunities and partnerships and the people, intimate partners that align with that energy. So whether you're vibrating high or vibrating low, you're going to attract those types of opportunities, those people and customers, intimate partners that are vibrating on the same level that you are. So if you had a choice, why not raise your frequency? And that's where I hadn't thought about it. I didn't put my thought around vibrating at a higher frequency. But once I got it and I said, okay, let me intentionally practice this through meditation, through I do my EDDs, my everyday drills, where I'm just super in line with what my vision is. I see it over here every day. I know what I'm tracking towards, and doing it in a way that is aligned with the future. So this is the second part. What the future holds for us is, right now, it's just, it doesn't exist. However, the body, the mind doesn't know the difference. So what we want to do is we want to start to put ourselves in position to feel, to develop the feelings that we want in the future, our goals, whether it be business or money or love, health, mindset, hobbies, your experiences in life, whatever they may be. We want to start to develop the feelings that we would have, or we would cultivate when we had those things. So when your business finally hit 7 figures, or when you took that vacation to Africa, or you met your soulmate, what would it feel like? Start to get into that feeling now. And when you are, like anything else, like once you are consistent with having those feelings now, even though they don't exist, it's difficult to say, well, gosh, how would I feel when I finally made some money, or when I finally took my business from 6 figures to 7 figures, or when I finally was able to break away and not have the stress and the overwhelm of day-to-day running my business and managing employees and all that thing. What would it finally feel like to have a loving, intimate, like super intimate, sexual, just fun, connected soulmate? What would that feel like? Are you with me here? So the more we can get into that mindset, what would that feel like? Then we start to develop frequency. Right? We're starting to send messages into the future of those feelings. And then what happens is frequency is coming back. And once space and time begin to collapse, right? You're putting the frequency out, the frequency from the future that you want is coming back to you. And then all of a sudden, boom, they become one. And your future becomes your present moment, your reality. It's something that I wish I had understood years ago. So I have just been very intentional with, okay, I know I'm going to have this much, these results, this, and what that would feel like is, so I get into the feeling of what would it look like to have my speaking schedule completely booked out. What would I feel like? What do I know that consistent revenue is coming in? What would it look like when I have my live events? I'm pushing towards here in this year, I'm putting out my own live events where I'm going to be bringing people in. So what would it look like when I have a room full of high achieving entrepreneur business owners, people really wanting to make impact and a difference in this world? What's that going to look like and feel like when that room is filled and I step on stage? Oh man. So putting that frequency out authentically, and by authentically meaning, hey, I don't know quite how to get there yet. And I'm telling you this right now. I don't know quite how to get there yet, what that's going to look like. And it's scary and I need help. And I know that the more I sit in what the feeling would be like versus, oh no, I don't know if I can do it. It's maybe some people won't show up. Maybe it won't work. And, it's make your choice. That's a lower vibrating, and you're going to attract that lower. You're right. It's not going to work. You're not going to get off the ground. So raise the vibration, raise your frequency, and you start to attract the future to you, and then it becomes a reality. So it takes consistency. It takes intentionality. It takes, the practice of doing it every day. And then once you vibrate from that, you'll be surprised the people, the opportunities that start to come your way, because you're creating resonance, right? You're sending out a frequency and it's matching with another one that gets. You're not for everyone. Your frequency is not for everyone. It's not going to align with everyone. And that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not supposed to. And I'll leave you with this, because I used to look at the people that I wanted to align with, the opportunities I wanted to have, and I tried to become what I think they would want. And one, it's not what they wanted. And there was misalignment. So they weren't happening. And number two, I felt inauthentic. And I was wondering, like, why is this not working? Why am I not making these partnerships happen? Why can't I make finding the right intimate lover and partner in my life? Because I wasn't aligned. I wasn't embodied. I wasn't giving off the frequency to attract the right people that align with my frequency. That's the key. These people, I'll take the relationships. I'll end with this. The relationships. There's someone out there. If you're in one, that's fine. You've attracted someone, and it's aligning with that individual's frequency. If you're not in a relationship, it's developing your own love for yourself, elevating your frequency to rise above and be conscious, knowing that there's someone else out there that's can align with the exact frequency that you're giving off. So it could be a lone one too. So make sure you're choosing a one that's in alignment with what you want. And more times than not, that's going to be something that's more of an elevated, higher level frequency. That's in alignment with who you are authentically, what you want to create in your life, and what you want to experience. And you'll begin to attract those individuals that vibrate with that exactly with who you are. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how much money you make. And this is so big for us high achievers. We think that people want us because we're successful financially, because I'm talking about like athletes, we're fit, we're athletic, we look good, and we think that's what people want. Man, that's not what they want. That's a benefit, but they want you authentically you. So we have to put aside our performance on the scoreboard, whether that's finances, whether that's health, whether that's putting ourselves, men, we put ourselves up on the scoreboard sexually. And that's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of stress. And it causes a lot of pain and heartache and chaos. And so we're not going to attract the people and the opportunities by putting all that energy into the scoreboard. Got to put it into the frequency of who we are as beings. Beingness. That's where we're going to attract the right people. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that was clarity. By all means, in the comments, if you want some if you have any questions to clarify, by all means, I'll dive in deeper to that. But in the meantime, thank you for the question. And I would definitely love to help support anyone who's hearing this and saying, yes, I'm ready to raise my level of frequency. By all means, subscribe to the channel here. There's a lot more here. Definitely reach out to me. I'm at Cletus Coffey. Just send me a DM on all social channels. Let's connect, find out how we can best align and support you in one of our programs, one of our groups, live events that are coming, that are here. They're not coming. They're here. It's just a matter of executing them and putting them out there. That's raising frequency. By all means, we'd love to have you be a part of it. So at Cletus Coffey, leave me a comment here. Let me know if this made sense, works for you. Thank you all.